Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 20 of Let's Play Battlefield Vietnam. Today we're fighting a rather important battle as we, the warriors of the Viet Cong, make our way to the outskirts of Saigon, capital of the US-backed puppet regime known as the Republic of Vietnam. It's December 1967, and this is the very first phase of what is to become a rather interesting military operation that some of you may know as the Tet Offensive, which will only be beginning in earnest sometime next year. Of course, our offensive today and our success is what the offensive depends on. And so, we need to commit ourselves to this battle, and, even more importantly than that, much more importantly, we need to come out on top. My battlefield skills may be a little rusty, and I apologize for this. For although it's only been 2 weeks or so since the last episode was uploaded, it's been about 3 months since I've actually recorded anything. So it's rather fun for me to be back here. I enjoy it, but I was starting to get sick of the whole thing after a while. But now we're back in the thick of the action, ready to hijack American ordnance, and of course, to seize the territories controlled, at the very least temporarily, by the ARVN forces. And we've lost a comrade. Bad situation. Very bad situation. I'd almost go as far as calling it a bruh moment, but fortunately for me, we still have a slight advantage over the Americans. Although ever so slight as this artillery vehicle, this self-propelled gun, makes its way towards me. I think our best choice right now would be to flank it. And so that's what I'll do. First step, taking out the gunner, and now the driver. Poor son of a bitch. He won't even know it hit him. And now we get in, we man the gun. Okay, this is very unmaneuverable, so I think we change the position, we reorient a bit. No puns intended when using the word orient. And now we begin a counteroffensive against the American troops. So this is an M110 or M110 self-propelled gun. Also known as the method by which we're about to capture this base from the US and ARVN forces. I'm gonna call for my comrades to back me up here though, since this seems to be a rather annoying situation. Fortunately, they've made it here, they're already here. The AI appears smarter since we last played. Maybe it's been training, I don't know. At the very least, all I can say is that it is no longer completely and utterly retarded, as we seize an American base and begin the first step of this assault. Their forces are slowly breaking up. And it's with this overwhelming momentum that we're gaining right now that we're hoping to shatter the American forces as 1968 continues, or at the very least as it begins. Now unfortunately, of course, this momentum probably can't last for too long, but we're going to make it last for as long as possible to put the Americans under threat. For right now, their men are fighting rather confidently. The military is releasing reports saying that they can still win this war. A rather powerful falsehood, and one that nobody's falling for, not even the American media. But we need this Tet Offensive to demonstrate that the Americans can't win. Because it's a lot harder to do something than it is to say it. And unfortunately, the embassy is already facing a counterattack. I'm afraid that we might not be able to win this battle. We need to rush all the way over there, right here, right now, get on the case, and see what's going on. Fortunately, we're using a tank that was captured from the Americans. meaning that we can go behind their lines and they will be none the wiser. Unfortunately, they have a Sheridan of their own, which we are in no position to engage head-on. However, we took it out from the sides, and we've got to take out their second Sheridan as well. We've almost done it. Almost neutralized. God damn it, the guns on these Sheridans are poor. The only thing poorer is the armor on them. And somehow the American offensive against our main front line is somehow continuing. They have a massive quantity of armored forces making themselves felt right now. And I don't enjoy dealing with them due to the danger of me getting immediately and rather gruesomely blown up. By the way, if there's any recognizable difference in the commentary, besides possibly personal development being the reason for it, it's also the fact that usually I take a mint or something before starting my recording. That's a kind of refresher, but this time I'm going in here without any performance enhancing drugs. We're going in here the regular way. And nevertheless, we're actually coming out on top. Now, I think we're going to ditch the Sheridan, will be the best course of action, and take this PT-76, which this American was enviously looking at. And yet somehow the Americans continue to spawn here. Don't ask me how. Please do not, because I haven't a clue. And they've actually managed to neutralize the base. Now this is unfortunate. It's a bro moment, alright. We'll call for reinforcements and we'll dig in, because there's no other choice. In the meantime, however, our comrades have made a great leap forward. Not like the Chinese though, those sons of bitches failed miserably with whatever they tried. But anyhow, our men have made a great leap forward in attacking the American forces. Political debates aside, we are making a great military advance, and the outskirts of Saigon will be ours for the beginning of the offensive. And who knows, perhaps after this we'll be able to infiltrate even further to the sea. Even if historically the Viet Cong never achieved this feat, we might just have a chance. If we can crush the American spirit decisively enough, we are in with a fighting chance. As you can see, we're crossing this river, and that means that we are at an advantage, because otherwise we'd have a rain of American shells just falling down upon us left and right and turning us into what could only be called mush. Now I've seized an abandoned farm as well, which obviously puts the ARVN at a clear disadvantage. One that I'm not even going to debate. Not even they are going to debate it. Because they have one base left, and no amount of helicopter patrols or tanks or artillery pieces will stop that. Our offensive is continuing. It's been a while since I've seen one of these Americans, but that is not a problem. They're bleeding points, so it's in their interest to try and confront us and defeat us, because otherwise they have no chance at all. Now what is this American armored column doing here? Did they get lost? Looks like they did. Unfortunately, they have reinforcements. And so, these little lost tankers are going to get an attack from behind. And who's this? Take that, you son of a bitch. So unfortunately, the AI is not at its best. Things could be better. Much better. I'm getting kind of sick of this tired old AI. And I'm wondering, I honestly am, if I should try playing this game online sometime. I'd really very much appreciate it if you'd let me know in the comments section whether you'd like to see me try and play Battlefield Vietnam online. I may not be able to pull off the same feats of daring as I can here, but it'll still be a nice experience. For better or for worse, kind of like the Halo 2 online gameplay. Of course, tell me in the comments section if you want to see any of that either. Or otherwise, if you want to see me bring back my old Let's Play Republic the Revolution series, since that is popular enough in its own time and I'm continuing to get an absolute ton of views on it. Now I'm going to continue fighting this campaign topless, since there's no point putting on a shirt or anything. The Americans are too flimsy, too feeble, too young and too naive, to quote the great Jiang Zemin. And unfortunately, the Americans are putting us in rather grave danger. So I'm going to take a helicopter and end what can only be called a most savage base raid. So that's their armoured personnel carrier down and out, and my helicopter getting ready for a lovely attack. First things first, we need to find their base. We need to find wherever they are, because they're in the sky as well. They're using their sky raiders against us. And these are helicopters, because they sure do look like them. Yes, they are, but the Sky Raider just passed by them. You can see them bombing us around here. So we've launched a full-scale armoured attack on this airbase as well, which is a very, very welcome sight. Because it looks like the Tet Offensive might just have a very auspicious beginning. And I'm always the kind of person who welcomes that. So we're circling like vultures, to use a lovely little turn of phrase. Bombing these Nordic-ass bitches like Bjorn Hedberg and receiving karma's punishment for it. In the meantime, the Americans are continuing to try and harass us. They've seized one of our PT-76 tanks, and they're trying to make away with it. In fact, they've seized 2 of them. What ordnance do we have available to change this? We have a scooter, and I think that can be very useful. Here we are going in Italian style on the Vespa. And a couple of strategically placed rockets to the behinds should be enough. Because nobody likes it up the ass, especially since it's still the 60s. This isn't the America of today. They do not appreciate these rockets, and I can tell, but they aren't paying much attention to them either. I guess you're trying to give me the silent treatment, huh? Well, you're not gonna get away with it that easily. That's 2 American tanks immobilized. Now we can begin a proper attack. Of course we have all of these American Huey helicopters on the roof. And I could use one rather effectively to try and get behind American lines. But that would be out of character. Instead I'm using my trusty scooter to launch what can only be called a shock offensive. So we've taken another one of the helicopters. We're ever so slowly taking all this American weaponry and bringing it back to wherever the hell our base areas are. The absolute middle of nowhere. Fucking Timbuktu, except in Vietnam. We have some tanks on our side finally, but we also have this motherfucker thinking that he can outclass us. Now we have another one of our tanks that's fallen into American hands. It seems that we have an absolute surplus of equipment. I don't know who sent in the invoice for all this, because we certainly can't use it all. In the meantime, we have captured the American airfield. It looks like we have a very good chance at victory in this rather short battle. But sure, this is a blitzkrieg type offensive. What else could it be except a short battle? We can't afford anything longer, that's the truth. And now we'll get behind this friend of ours and give him what is a very, very, very lucky shot. Now let's continue our patrol. Because it looks like we've lost our edge. And no matter how much of a fan I am of edginess, I don't like it this way. Unfortunately, the Americans have built some rather... How can I say this? It's rather annoying canal works. Really, they're just there to fuck us over, because what do they want to do with infrastructure in South Vietnam? I doubt they want to develop it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be bombing us with napalm and Agent Orange and all kinds of other gruesome, terrible things that'll leave us with terrible scars in our country and cancer and so many other things for years and years to come. Now, where was I? Besides venting, because I'm really good at venting and it gets really repetitive nevertheless, and I'm apologizing for it. Here we are, the roadkill section. Inevitable. Beautiful screens. It's like a symphony. We've got our... Wait, that's an American crew! Alright. So the Americans have made away with our top secret Soviet technology. Not the best situation. On the other hand, we've won a very, very, very major victory. We've crushed the Americans on the outskirts of Saigon, making clear once more the supremacy of the Viet Cong on their home turf. Hopefully we'll be able to continue our push as 1968 dawns, and thus put some pressure on the Americans. We're finally back on the offensive, and hopefully it will do well. If you're enjoying this video, do not forget of course to leave a like and a comment and to subscribe to my channel, because I need all of the support that I can get. I'll see you all next time. I have been the Nerd Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.